Tonight on Tranquil Radio, we have a heavy metal, hair metal throwback for you. Dave Mustaine suffers a serious diagnosis. Skid Row still wants nothing to do with Sebastian Bach, and Motley Crue always at odds with the media. All this and more coming up on Tranquil Radio.
Bow to it.
What's going on, everybody? This is Tranquil Radio, brought to you by the Foundry Concert Club and Fantasy Entertainment Complex right here in Cleveland, Ohio. As always, I am your host, Sean Ryan, and we have a friend of the show, our guest co-host tonight, KJ Kris Jones. Say hi.
I'm back, bitches. I'm like a tumor. I never go away.
It's not a tumor. Not a tumor at all.
I'd say more like a herpy. Let's just take this time out for you guys to hit subscribe right below this screen.
Press that subscribe button with your dick tip. Was that bird from the used?
Let's just do our bad news first. If you are a longtime listener of this show, we like to do bad news first just to get it out of the way so we can have some more fun. Dave Mustaine from Megadeth.
Hello, me. Meet the real me.
The
former
classic
Metallica founding member.
Yes, from 81 to 83, less than 2 years, actually. Poor Dave, he has been diagnosed with throat cancer. This is a story that just came out. I mean, by the time this posts, this will be probably a week and a half. News broke, I believe, on Monday, and Dave Mustaine goes on and says, quote, "I have been diagnosed with throat cancer. It is clearly something to be respected and faced head-on. But I have faced obstacles before," and yes, he fucking has. "I am working closely with my doctors, and we have mapped out a treatment plan which they feel has a 90% success rate. Treatment has already begun."
90% is pretty optimistic. That's good to hear.
That's great. That's great.
Whenever you hear, as somebody that's dealt with this in various situations in my own life, hearing a prognosis that good, that gives you some hope.
I know.
So that's good to hear. That's positive. He does go on to say, unfortunately, that with the diagnosis, this does require that we cancel most of our shows this year. The 2019 Mega Cruise will happen. The band will still be a part of it in some form. All of today's information will be at megadeth.com as we get it, and they will be back on the road as soon as possible. So they'll probably still do the cruise, but they'll probably just won't be performing.
Yeah, who knows?
Or maybe they'll get some friends to sing for Dave and still do some songs, but just without him to give him some, vacation time.
If he's healthy enough, he can still play guitar.
True. Oh, yeah.
Yep. He's a fucking shredder.
Yeah.
Dave continues to say, meanwhile, Kirk, David, and Dirk.
Oh, Dirk from Soilwork. Yeah, that's the new
really?
Yeah, that's the new drummer from Megadeth.
Are in the studio working on the follow-up to Dystopia, which won a Grammy, which I can't wait for everyone to hear. I am so thankful for my whole team, family, doctors, band members, trainers, and more. I will keep everyone posted.
Bad news, but it could be worse.
I had no idea how well received. They have sold over 30 million albums.
Yeah.
They've been nominated for a Grammy 12 times. They finally got one with Dystopia.
I remember when they really blew up into the mainstream when they had, what was that song? I forget the name of the album, but it had that song Trust on it.
Cryptic Writing.
Yeah, MMS was just all over that song. I remember here in Cleveland they played it heavy rotation.
Trust was a great song. That album actually got me into Megadeth when I was playing bass. So our best wishes to Dave.
It sounds like they're going to take good care of him. My 90% success rate. It
seems like they really caught it soon, and
hopefully
he should hopefully be all right.
Little surgery, fix it up. Put a little tussin on it.
And on to our next story.
Next!
On to our next story, we have Skid Row and Sebastian Bach at odds once again. Of course,
they really hate this guy. One of them's all right with him, but
he was a former Skid Row member.
Yeah, he's like the Billy Morris of Skid Row.
If you don't know who Billy Morris is, don't worry about it.
Yeah, it's fine. But
it's not important.
So Sebastian Bach, I'm sure you guys have heard, he's going to go out and celebrate the 30-year anniversary of Skid Row's quintessential claim to fame album. Yeah,
yes.
Yeah, and which actually was going to be coming here to the Fantasy in Lakewood.
Sebastian Bach will be here at the Fantasy. I bought my tickets for my girlfriend, $25 a piece, plus those added convenience fees turned it into a $63 thing. Thanks, Eventbrite, you fucking assholes. You're worse than Ticketmaster. I got nothing to lose. You can go fuck yourself.
Yeah, true story.
I hope you get sued.
All right, so Sebastian Bach was kicking around the idea, always extending the olive branch, trying to get, some of the guys from Skid Row to come out and do the shows with him. They are just not having it, especially Snake Sabo.
I rather like Snake.
Well, yeah, he invited everybody because it is the 30th anniversary of Skid Row's self-titled debut album. They didn't actually have Sebastian Bach before this album was completed. The album was completed, and then they found the singer Sebastian Bach.
So they had music and no vocals?
Yes.
Ah, okay.
I hope I'm accurate on that. Sorry, I haven't dusted up on my Skid Row history.
I know more about the Los Angeles homeless section of the community called Skid Row than I do the actual band Skid Row. I'll just say that much right now.
So Sebastian, yes, he had invited everybody cordially, just said, hey, any of you guys that are working with Skid Row, why don't you come on out, man? You know, I'm doing this solo show. You're more than welcome to come and play, man. Just have fun.
I'll be there. You be there too, you little piece of stool.
I got no ill will against you, although that band has a lot of ill will against him.
Yeah, they do not like him. So Bach was actually fired from Skid Row in 1996.
Sebastian Bach is an eccentric man. So I can honestly see them just going like, oh my God, we're so tired of you. Stop talking.
You can't sit with us!
If anyone has ever watched VH1 in the 2000s, they know how many things he's been on, and it's just like,
they were on that dude's jock for a minute.
David Lee Roth, man. Like, the guy just won't quit. He is on all the time.
What was that reality show that him and like Evan from Biohazard?
Making the Band.
That's what it was. Yeah, it was like, let's put a bunch of egomaniacs in a mansion together and make them work together. Oh, fuck's sakes.
Oh, God.
Oh.
He's an easy target, you know, big guy, big mouth, long blonde hair, you know, pretty guy.
Burn that house down.
I'm surprised there wasn't like a manslaughter rap on that set. Like Ted accidentally shot a stagehand with an arrow or
I think the dude from Biohazard actually may have punched Sebastian Bach just to get him to calm down.
I do remember that now. Yes.
Something
I believe
like
that was the thing.
Yeah, he was fired in 1996. There's a lot of speculation of what happened, but more or less the band says they were kind of tired of Sebastian Bach. There's another report that's saying that Skid Row was offered a chance to open up for Kiss on a tour. Sebastian, being a huge Kiss fan, he wants to literally have Gene in his mouth. But the bassist Rachel Bolan was...
Who is a man, by the way.
Yeah.
They had a chick bass player? Nope. Guy.
It was a different time. But, Rachel, he was more focused on some punk band or something. I don't know. It's a lot of hearsay and yada, yada, yada. Either way, Skid Row, they've had 4 different singers since Sebastian Bach, I think.
Have they really?
Somewhere around there, yeah. Sebastian had come out, I think last year and said, oh, you guys are up to your, 10th singer now. Is it me or is it you?
I invented it's not you, it's me. If it's anybody, it's me.
It really bothers the shit out of me when, 80s bands have these huge egos. It's you guys are playing in front of 500 people.
And it's all
I don't know, maybe Skid Row's a little bit more. I don't know, but I mean with LA Guns and Rat and just the revolving door of band members. And
fucking
then,
Winger, dude?
Yeah, and then they just they have the balls and the audacity. Stryper, they're a nice Christian band. Okay.
Isn't Winger a Christian band too?
No, Kip Winger, he likes 17-year-old girls.
Oh!
She's only 17.
Oh, yeah, 17. That was them. Restraining order.
Thank God this was the 80s.
This is going off the rails again.
Way off the rails. But
you actually had to microwave alcohol to get us into the studio today. You thawed out a shot ball.
Got a little captain in you.
So, anyways, good old Baz. Why do they call him Baz? He extends the olive branch and offers, Sabo and Rachel and everybody to, come do the shows with him on this tour, and which prompted a, interview with Finland's Chaos TV to ask Snake Sabo.
That's where I get all my interviews
what he was
from Finland.
Yeah, the Finnish are nice and respectable people.
They won't slander you, and they love fucking metal.
They do. So,
women are something.
Calm down. They go on to ask, Sabo about the situation. He's like, quote, well, yes, I did. I'm working with my band. That's why you're not going to go out? I'm working with my band. Oh, he did go on to say that, maybe on down the road that doing full albums together might not be a bad idea. But that's one of those, same thing with Tom DeLonge we talked about. It's not there yet. Maybe down the road, sure. But Rob Fuso said he was down to come back and do some tour dates with Bach.
Good luck to everybody in Skid Row and Sebastian Bach. Sebastian, I will see you later, baby.
And surprise, surprise, Motley Crue's pissed at somebody else.
Shock me with that deviant behavior.
Shocker.
I'm drunk. But Motley Crue, okay, so they are at odds with the cable channel Reels. Nikki Sixx and Vince Neil are both pissed at Reels channel because they came out with their starting episode of this season's Breaking the Band. it was featured on Motley Crue, which is basically, okay, so like this is, well, from what I have gathered, it is just a mini documentary on the band Motley.
So it's just recycled crap like VH1 Behind the Music already.
Not even as good as Behind the Music, because they don't have the band members involved with it. It's just people around the band or whatever. After you actually listen to this show, you're you're getting like fourth-hand knowledge of it. But trust me, I know about Motley Crue.
These two guys talked about these other guys that talked about these guys that had some stuff to say about these guys.
Yeah.
Oh.
Before the show aired, Vince Neil had publicly said, well, fuck, I hope it's good, you know?
It didn't turn out the way he wanted it to.
No, it did not turn out the way he wanted it to, because after the show had aired, he had watched it, and so did Nikki. Vince Neil went on Instagram and said, quote, "Breaking the band. Fucking memories from a manager, Doug Taylor, who can't remember that he is the one that actually broke up the band. The band didn't break up because of me racing. It broke up because he was too much of a pussy who didn't just say, hey guys, let's take a week off and come back with cooler heads. He called me an hour later and said I was out of the band. Great management! Exclamation point! Ah! What he didn't say was, instead of me going racing, I put out a top 10 single with You're Invited. As you can see in the classic 1992 movie, Encino Man.
Wheeze the juice.
Go, Weasel the Juice!
Is that in there?
Vince Neil's song, You're Invited But Your Friends Can't Come, is in Encino Man.
Yeah. All you care about is nugs, chilling, and grindage.
So he goes on to say, oops, he forgot. Then an album called Exposed, oops, forgot again. No wonder he was fired shortly after. So for those of you that are not familiar with Motley Crue and Vince Neil were at odds back in 92, and there was a whole big thing, and everyone's got basically kind of a different story. Vince Neil will tell you that he was fired. Nikki Sixx said that, he left the band, yada, 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 but it happened in 92, and then they went on to go do a 94 album with Scream singer John Corabi. Whatever. From what I can gather with this interview, this story on Reel's channel, was that Doug Taylor, who was one of their managers, got a lot of things wrong and said Vince Neil, he was concerned with his racing career, which he did like a formula racing.
Some sort of IndyCar performance, something like that, yeah.
And then Vince Neil was like, oh, no, well, I was working on a solo album, which Motley should have known about that. It feels like a Jason Newsted Metallica kind of issue. Like, no, you're not allowed to branch out. Damn it, this is the mothership. Yeah, so whatever.
Which is funny because if he hadn't branched out, he would have left
Flotsam and Jetsam.
Flotsam and Jetsam, that's right. I don't know why I almost said Jethro Tull. Idiot. Things all start to sound the same when you get old and you've had a few beers and your brain doesn't work so good no more. I just want to say one thing. I find it fine. And this is going to sound terrible, but I can't not make this joke. It's ironic as hell to me that Vince Neil has a career in race car driving after he killed Razzle from Hanoi Rocks in a drunk driving accident, being an asshole on the Sunset Strip. Like, define irony.
Good point. The singer from Hanoi Rocks was pissed when Motley Crue, they came out with like an anthology, and it was called Music to Crash Your Car To.
Are you fucking serious?
I'm serious. I didn't think anything of it, but I mean, the dude from Hanoi Rocks, the corpse that he is, he was just looking for some publicity because he was coming out with like a new album or solo album or some shit.
Well, it's always the bass player that dies. Cliff Burton, Razzle. I'm formally tendering my resignation as bass player for Impending Lives because I'd like to continue living.
I know, I'm going to kill him tonight.
I'm watching you bitch. You're gonna die tonight.
So anyways, after the show aired and Vince took to Instagram to, voice his discernment with the show and being very upset.
Good word.
Nikki Sixx also took to Twitter. Breaking the band was not authorized by Motley Crue, period. Our lawyers sent them a cease and desist, and further action will be taken.
Which Reels did not pay attention to at all.
Yeah, at Reels is the bottom of the barrel. Should at Reel's channel be liable for putting out the shows with so many artist approval? I am very disappointed that they think they can tell our life story just to sell advertising. In parentheses, mostly incorrect. And without any bodies, plural bodies, permission.
This does bring up a kind of a weird point. Okay, so like Nikki wanted to do a cease and desist at the hands of his lawyers for Reel's channel to stop running this episode of Breaking the Band because it was so inaccurate. But can you actually do that? Because Reel's clearly they didn't listen. I mean, slander cases are impossible to fucking beat in a court system. So good luck with that.
Yeah, I think they're just upset that they used this has-been hack of a manager they used to have as a viable source of this documentary episode they were trying to make, which, I understand being upset about it is one thing, but, like, just because somebody says or airs something that, if it's inaccurate, by all means, do your thing, but, like, if you're just throwing a tantrum, which these guys are kind of known for, hey,
I don't think you have the grounds. Try and file a cease and desist. I could say, like, on this show, I could say, you know what? Mick Mars from Motley Crue is a member of ISIS.
I'll let snack
Sue me.
bar. I said snack bar. You didn't.
No, I heard.
Okay,
No,
all
I
right.
heard you. I know.
That's how I got this. Hold on, I got a lift.
16-ounce curls. If you're watching the Reels channel and you see that breaking the band, I mean, just don't take it to heart. Go to Netflix, watch the biopic. You know, like it's pretty damn close to the book. It's not exactly close.
It's almost.
I mean, it's just their recollection anyway. Okay, that is all that we have for this week's installment of Trend Kill Radio. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please be sure to like the video, subscribe to our channel, share the video. Our Facebook page is in the description. We are on Instagram. Thank you so much, Kris Jones.
Thank you as always for having me. You can catch my band Impending Lies July 5th at the Foundry with Howard Jones of Killswitch Engage's new band Light the Torch. We will be headlining in Kent the next day, July 6th, at the Outpost. July 13th, if you haven't gotten tickets yet, you can still do a one-day pass or a whole weekend pass to Incarceration Festival at the Mansfield Reformatory. We'll be playing there with
Motionless in White.
Motionless in White, which is stoked. Our friend John did some stuff with
Oh, yeah. That's one thing I forgot to mention. Our friend John Sustar, he was the co-writer on 2 songs of the new Motionless in White album.
We have them live, Godsmack, us, Stabbing Westward. I'm so excited about that. And Andrew WK. We'll see which Andrew we get, though, if you believe the theories.
Oh, no. I don't need to believe the theories. I know what faces look like, and I know that it was a different guy. So, all right. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please be sure to subscribe. As always, I am your host, Sean Ryan.
And sometimes I'm Kris Jones.
And this is Trend Kill Radio.
Bow to it.
Smash that subscribe button with your dick tip.
Yes, we are sponsored by the Fantasy and Skid Row. Oh, not Skid Row.
Sebastian Bach, pay some bills, son.
I had to take a chopstick and jerk the thing off and then put it in the microwave for 30 seconds just to get a shot.
And thank God you found that security strip on there. On my TV, not my laptop.
Trend Kill Radio on your TV, baby.
Shameless self-plug.
Yes.